Christmas is over. The new year is almost here. What a great time to sit down with Kingdom Speak and reflect on 2022. Let's do it today. Welcome back to Kingdom Speak with Pastor Daniel McKillop. This was not filmed before Christmas. This is actually recorded after Christmas.
Legit.
We survived.
Legit.
We're all wearing black, the best slimming color.
Oh, slimming.
Slimming.
Oh,
yes. It's a thing. It's
I was just wondering who died.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope your holidays are going great. I guess technically we're still in the holidays, right? And today is our top 5 episode where we reflect on the hills and valleys of the year and talk about the best episodes of the year, of course, and also our audience, the countries we're listened to in, some of the cool stuff that happened this year. And it's a great time. So, this is the reflective time of the year for all of us, is it not?
It's getting ready for 23.
Starting.
So you got to clean out the cobwebs of 22.
I'm in my last week in my weekly planner of the year.
To hit your 100 books read, you got to read 73 more.
Yeah, slightly higher than that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to blow your cover there. I'm sorry.
So anyways.
It's always next year.
There's always another year,
next year
until there's not.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start with a review. Maybe this is the best review of the year.
That's a new twist to start.
Yeah, let's mix it up to wrap up the year.
I like that.
Oh, no, let's start with this.
Oh.
Let's give a giant hand to Dustin Turner, who won
Oh, yes.
the DJD
Yes.
Bible.
He did. And his dad. His dad's probably standing up right now clapping.
Because he's giving it to him.
Yes.
Yeah. So we gave it away. If you haven't heard, there it is. We did give it away. We did not keep it. And wow. It kind of...
The official Goosebump edition.
My heart kind of ached when we said goodbye to that Bible. But congratulations to him. Thank you again to DJD, who does amazing work. And yeah, we started with that. Now let's get to the best review of the year. You have something on your phone there you want to talk about, or are you just texting?
No. I'm just looking at how you're like 3 inches out of this frame here, but we're okay with that.
Isn't that normal?
He grows
Which
like
way do I need to
3
go?
feet right before he clicks go.
It's the adrenaline, man.
Yeah.
It's,
Take
it's like
the air.
sitting on the bench, you're drinking Gatorade, and the coach taps you on the shoulder and says, it's your shift. It's like,
Yeah. Yes.
You can take some air out of your tires.
Yes. Was you here at time this morning?
Huh?
Was you here on time this morning?
No, I got a great night's rest. I did.
it's one of my New Year's resolutions.
Let's just say this. Out of the 3 of us, one of us.
I can't hear his mic
He
anymore.
shut his mic off.
What happened?
Hey, you might want to check your connection.
Yeah, there's a cable problem.
Okay, this camera does work.
He's at least I'll be on
Read my
camera.
lips. Read my lips.
Yeah, I overslept, guys. I overslept.
Okay.
I'll do better next year.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, let's get into this review. And we have so much content today. The review of the year, potentially, says this. 5-star Apple Podcast review from the US of A. It says, in the title, I've got some guests that I would enjoy listening to. And then the guests are Elder Sam Ham. You writing these down?
Okay.
Elder Larry Booker. We've tried on that one.
Hey, actually, do you know that he reached back out to me?
Oh, well, there.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
2023 is kind of looking...
He's kicking the tires on the podcast thing. Elder McKillop. Yes, Bishop McKillop.
Yes.
Elder Tommy Bracken.
Ah, that would be a
Great suggestion.
Yes.
Elder Mike Vaughn. Elder Cleve Lambeth. Brother John Lambeth, who is a lurker on this podcast, a freeloader.
Yes.
One of those guys who just sits on the bus but never, helps out.
Hashtag big buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So time to put those big antlers on and get on this podcast. I agree with Daniel Paget on Apple Podcasts. And we will say amen
to that.
To those list of suggestions. Thank you.
Yes.
Everybody on that list it would just make the top 5 for next year. How about that?
Yeah, it would.
It would. Let's throw in another one just because. KingdomSpeak, fire.
Love it already.
5-star Apple Podcast review says this: love y'all's podcast. Enjoy hearing y'all have a great time while producing amazing content. We do have a great time. We really do.
Yeah.
Not a video talking guy, but I'd love to win the DJD custom Bible.
Ooh. Boy, he was trying.
Sorry, ESEQ.
Where's your sad music?
Come on, pronounce that.
The Bible is gone. So yeah. I hate to break it to you, but man, it's not here.
It's not ours to give.
I don't have the sad. We could need some Kenny G music to pipe in right now. Or like the Titanic stuff. What was that called with the flute? Whatever. I hate to break it to you.
It's gone.
When we set the rules for the giveaway, if you want in on it, right?
You got to move. That's something when God says move, you better start moving.
I've never
heard that.
No,
that's a good
I
song.
feel like I need to hear it though.
Could you finish that?
Maybe that's a me song.
Okay.
Maybe I should do that.
Wow. Yeah.
The song is good.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Come on.
I love how that is making it into like comment sections.
It did.
I love it.
It
Wow.
did. So if you haven't heard the winning
Oh my goodness.
submission for the DJD, he Bible bombed his.
Yes, he did.
Bible bombed, and another guy was giving the wows. Another guy was doing the skin grafts on the ostrich. It was good stuff. It was good stuff, and we'll have to do some more of those fun giveaways next year. So here we are, guys. Here we are.
It's a wrap.
2020, we weren't sure if
a
that
wrap.
was even going to finish. 2021, we were like, let's get out of 2020 and do something. And then 22 is like, maybe we can start to live again. And we're here. And it's been a blur, if I might say.
Yeah.
It's been a blur.
Yeah.
It feels to me, as we were, this morning in show prep, just going back through. It's only been
Still looking at stuff here. It's crazy.
it may be dementia, but some of the stuff I didn't even remember happening.
There was a few titles that we looked at and said, what were we even talking about there?
What
Was that?
Yeah, charitable topics at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To top it off, it's some of the stuff that the audience, you guys loved. And we were talking about how it was like, oh man, we got to get an episode out. Well, okay, let's talk about this. And everyone just loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
One of the ones that's not in the top 5, but that really was the Eat That Frog
Yeah.
segment.
Yeah.
Which kind of a book review type. And we literally were just sitting down there. I said, man, let's talk about that. And it blew up, man.
It sure did.
Yeah.
I think the podcast audience in particular, throwing shade at the YouTube guys right now, gals, but there's a lot of nerdy people. That's right. Nerdy people who specialize or are mostly intrigued with like the whole productivity
Gig. Yep.
that whole line of topics and
So YouTubers are not productive? That kind of thing? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm going to have to mute your mic again.
How long has he had a mic?
Oh,
Not
man. You
long.
have
I
to
remember
go
when he
back.
didn't have a mic.
Just click back through our episodes
Yeah.
and you will see on the YouTube side. He's had it for almost 2 years, I'd say.
There's also a direct relation there. You'll see when the ratings just
Oh.
right around that time is when we got a mic.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
That was pretty good.
He's not going to give you nothing.
I'm not
for
going to
that.
give him nothing for that. No.
This is my day.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the Eat That Frog episode was one of them things. We need to get somebody on the podcast this year, like one of those productivity gurus, where when they talk, they just make you feel like,
You've never done nothing in your life.
it's like, reflect over the last 24 hours and write down 28 things you'd like to do in the next 30 minutes. It's like, oh.
The top 28 things you'd like to do.
You look at some of them journals or them books that you can buy. And I do
confusing.
not want to make myself do that. There's lists and lists and lists. Interestingly enough, this is way off topic, but have you seen those books? I've seen them recently while traveling. It's called Burn This Book.
Burn this book.
It's pretty cool.
No.
So the intent of it is to journal, to write stuff down, things that, so a list will be like things that you regret purchasing.
Okay.
It's just an empty book. And it's cheap, but you're supposed to write it down and then you burn it so that nobody else sees it.
Oh.
And it's just this, it's pretty cool.
And it's supposed to help me with what?
It's supposed to
Compartmentalizing.
They say it's beneficial psychologically, which we're going to be talking about psychology in this episode to reflect with our guests. But they say there's benefit to writing. I should not have bought that car. I should not have financed
1,000
that chair. And it helps you just. Anyways, this is an interesting.
The payment plan for the Mars bar was a bit much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. It was a sweet deal though. It was out of this world.
Should not have financed my jeans. Have you guys been
Well,
asked?
sometimes it runs in your genes, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Bro, the last time I bought a pair, they legit asked me if I wanted to finance them for 12
Bro,
months.
they'll finance anything.
What kind of jeans are you buying?
They were just normal, run-of-the-mill jeans, man.
Bro.
He was not buying like Balenciaga or anything
no.
like that, was
Better
he?
not have.
I actually laughed and said, how many people actually do this? And she told me you'd be surprised. So you're talking maybe a $60 or $70 pair of jeans. Like,
Oh my goodness, man. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, you got one there.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Come on.
Don't be like producer Randy and finance your jeans. Pro tip number 1 on the episode today.
Yes.
be like producer Randy and don't finance your jeans.
Do you want to do an episode before we talk more about? Do you want to jump into the top 5? Or you
Start
want
the
to
top 5?
Yeah, want to do it?
Hey, let's start it.
Okay.
Coming in at number 5. All right. Do the honors. Give it.
You want to just
give
hit
a drum roll?
You want to hit him cold turkey? I don't
don't?
have a drum roll. So I got rid of the rim shot to do the wows. So I don't even have. Yeah, it's underwhelming. I don't have many options. The producer doesn't.
You're not doing
set
that
me
great.
up with
You're not doing that great
the
today.
gear he sets me up with is.
So in 5th place,
Yeah.
here we go.
You have to confess who you are to God.
Yes. Yes.
That's truth.
That's exactly right.
What is your name?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
So the person that are depressed, they don't know who they are. I don't know who I am. What's my purpose?
Yeah.
God asked Jacob that.
Yeah. And if he would have answered that question the same way he answered it with his dad, 14 plus years earlier,
Yeah.
he'd have still only had the blessing that he
It's a
robbed
pretty nice necktie you're wearing right there.
from that lateral relationship.
I like it. Yeah, that's nice.
But if you're going to get God to bless you, you sound like it's the day after power. All of heaven, everything's waiting. What's he going to say at this moment? I'm Jacob.
I am Jacob.
The moment he says it.
Did I ever tell you about the name Israel and something interesting about it?
This
About it
was
being
so
a
cool,
composite?
man.
No.
Well, the L at the end of it is Elohim, which is Daniel and Nathaniel and all the L suffixes. But the ISRA, the rabbis posit that that is Isaac, Sarah, Rebecca, and Abraham.
Okay.
So when God told
Interesting.
him, I am the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, I am the God of Abraham and Isaac, and it's the latter, he was saying, you are going to be the culmination of your forefathers, and El is with you. Elohim is with you. And man would
We already
walk
knew
side
this.
by
So
side
elementary.
with God, the Abrahamic covenant. Yeah.
Producer Randy actually stopped texting
Wow.
at this point. He put his phone down
Did
and
you just make
listened.
that up?
Is that really true?
I read it. I read
really
it.
true. That was,
You heard it first on KingdomSpeak.
yeah, that was
So there's a reason why we said, did you make that up? Because this episode is about what is truth. And we did get a little fire with this episode.
we did.
We did.
We
Yeah.
did, yeah.
A little lightning with this episode. Obviously enough to get us into the 5th position overall.
And it was so good to have guests in the chair this year. It's so cool.
Wasn't it?
So cool to,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So
We had the Biblos Network here.
was
As
just
much
gonna
as we
say
throw
that.
shade at the Biblos Network.
Yeah.
We
They are thebomb.com.
that's right. That's right. We had a good time with those guys.
So we really dug into what is truth, and it was an overall riveting conversation with Brother Urshan, and it was full of moments like
Yeah.
that right there that you just heard.
Those moments were really cool.
Yeah.
So I was flipping through analytics, and any of you who do podcasting, and there's a lot of you out there who listen to us, the numbers can just be overwhelming. It's like once somebody cites you, if they're trying to make a point to you and they cite like 2 statistics, after that, the numbers just in your head, right? So when you're going through all this stuff, it's overwhelming. The thing that
It's like an Excel spreadsheet.
ugh.
Yeah.
Now the bean counters among us
Yeah. Some people like that. That's their
Life and
wheelhouse.
just fires them right up.
Yeah.
Life and death.
Oh, that's 2.77%. Okay, whatever. I can work in small numbers like 5. 5
Okay.
is a good number.
Okay.
So the top 5 countries, we reference this once in a while throughout the year, but for the year 2022, I wanted to share these with you. A couple very surprising countries in here.
Okay.
So number 1, the USA, our biggest listening audience. Number 2 is Canada, of course. Our Canadians love us.
Loyalty.
They love us. They
Loyalty.
love us. Every Canadian that we asked told us that they were our number 1 fan and that we were their number 1 podcast.
Okay. Okay.
Every one of them.
Now, how many people I asked? That's up to you to decide. And who?
That's kind of like, according to the poll that we did.
this random internet survey.
Yeah, we have 2 pollers.
Yep.
So U.S.
That's pollsters.
pollsters.
2 pollers.
2 polar bears. Do you got bears
Pollers.
working for you?
2 pollers.
USA, Canada. 3rd place is Brazil.
Ah, come on.
Brazil. Again, looking at Elder John Lambeth,
He should rep.
why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Number 4, Germany.
That's been an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's kind of burst out of nowhere in the last few months.
So I have to ask, if you're listening in Germany, why haven't you said anything to us?
Yes. Tell us who you are. I actually shouted them out from the airport in Frankfurt this month. Yeah.
So there's people listening somewhere.
They are.
Somewhere.
They are.
And 5th is Senegal.
Okay. I know who that is.
All right.
I know who
is
one
it?
of them is.
Who is it?
Brother Craig Sully.
Yes.
Has to be.
He's doing missions work there.
Yes.
And obviously he is spreading the word.
Evidently.
His KingdomSpeak on repeat.
He
Yes.
has multiple devices and multiple
That's really
rooms.
cool. How many countries are we being played in?
We are being played. Well, we have been played this year alone in 94
Woo!
countries.
Come on.
Wow.
Give you a hand for that. That is phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Places like the Sierra Leone, Thailand, China,
South Korea.
South Korea has a bunch. Like South Korea is probably in the top 15% of our
Like, honestly, there's countries that are listening that I didn't know were countries.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pastor would love to come visit you.
Yes.
So
How many,
just-
how many countries was it again?
94.
94.
So why don't we put him out like once a month? So that's 12. So in for the next 8 years, we could send you on a meet the audience tour, and you could do one of these trips a month. Like zoom in on him, look at him. Right
Is
there.
anybody? Is
He
anybody
looks excited. He's
is
into
anybody
this.
picking up that they may enjoy me being gone? What do you guys do when I leave?
Do you know what we have? Is that
On that note, this year the number one episode.
No, it wasn't. Oh no, it wasn't.
The number one episode was
Not.
Gone Fishing.
And we even have a gift here to celebrate.
It was the number one episode by far.
So we came in to record this today. And I'm sorry for our podcast listeners. You're gonna have
Don't
to
apologize.
you're gonna have to go to YouTube. But
Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
sitting on the table
Fan
was
mail.
fan mail.
That's right.
But it just said number one fan.
I have a question, but you go ahead and continue to open that up first.
All right.
Just,
Well,
oh, wait. I have a good question, though.
well, go ahead with your question while I'm trying to figure out how to get this open.
How many episodes that you have titled have we received
many.
gifts in the mail for?
What do you? what do you? What's that got to do with anything?
Can somebody hand him a knife?
Yeah, I should have rehearsed this.
Something.
Good.
Use your
Yeah.
teeth.
I usually carry a knife on me.
Yes.
Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there.
What do we got? What do we
We're
got?
almost there. We're almost there. We have
Oh,
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Come on.
Where am I supposed to show it?
Yeah, you're
Here.
fine. Yep.
Look at that. Gone fishing coffee mug.
see, we left impressions in people's minds.
So you got.
There's a compass in there so that I can get back for the next show.
That's right.
There's flashlight with no battery, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
No battery.
Maybe you got to wind it up.
Yep.
Gone fishing.
Coffee.
That's what I come to.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's an envelope that just says number one fans wishing you a Merry Christmas.
See that? You see that? I'm telling you.
And you guys are wanting that to happen 94 more times.
The impact that an episode can have on a life is amazing. I might say this is why we do
You know
what we
what?
do.
That it does. This makes it all worth it right here.
In fourth place.
Okay, here we go. Fourth place. This episode, we highlight a particularly interesting thing. You talk about divination,
Okay.
and
Did I do that?
you did.
Okay.
And when I didn't remember this episode when we were prepping, but now that I remember when you came in that morning and we're doing a show prep, and I'm like, what is this topic? Because it's not something that people talk about.
Well, nice.
However, it
People
definitely
listen to it.
resonated with the audience.
All right. I'm pulling a blank on this one. They done the review on this. I didn't. So
But
roll it.
when you start talking about what it is, everybody's into it. Everybody's into it. So just listen up.
You've got to read the Bible so that it reads you. You don't read the Bible looking for a particular. This is the outcome I want. So I'm trying to find a scripture to back up
Oh, it gets so practical. Yeah.
the preferred outcome. I'm wanting to make the purchase. So I'm finding scriptures that say he will give me the desires of my heart. And I'm going, now's the time. God has spoken.
Yeah, we were saying.
I have my opinion. Where can I find it?
Right?
Yeah.
I want a ministry.
Is that the producer chiming
I
in?
want a ministry.
Well, the Bible says
So if I desire the office of a bishop,
that's a good thing.
I can get it, man. Who doesn't want good things? I want a wife. Right?
People look for confirmation. in
So
the
it's
leaders.
not good for man to be alone.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
It's got to be her.
It's got to be.
It's got to be her.
And so you begin reading scripture, looking for your answer. But really what you're looking for, you're divining up something. And you will get the reward of your divination. But she might not be the wife you really want. And the car might not be the car that you really need. And for sure, if you're not called to ministry, that's a train wreck.
Oh,
Boy,
man,
it can
you are
be
not
still
kind.
born out of sincerity. It's not always a blatant looking. For
And
that
this is where
answer
the
in
producer
Bible. You
tried
can
to
do it.
make
out of
people
a
feel
sincere
good.
Spirit, or I feel you.
It's like, you know, people are trying to
not
be
careful.
sincere, Pastor.
Absolutely.
You know, people are trying to be
And ambition,
Yeah.
ambition responds
this right here.
to I've made this statement before. Ambition will respond to an altar call the same way as
Very good.
as someone that has a desire for true vision from God.
Wow. That was
Ouch.
that. But, you know, I'm
So what,
sure
what
at the
was that
time
episode?
I was
What is your reward?
I was thinking at the time, this is hitting hard, and it turns out people like to be hit, evidently, for this one. Because
They enjoyed
this one.
hard hitting
They enjoyed this one.
conversation.
You know, a bit
Wow.
confrontational, but you know, that was good stuff. Very good, very good.
Wow, that's amazing.
You want to talk about our social media now? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Social media has been something that, to say the least, growing.
Yes. Shockingly. Yeah.
What about you? So those of you who watch us or listen to us, and if you're on social media, primarily it's Pastor who runs the Instagram. And I would say of all three, Instagram seems to be kind of the biggest, wouldn't you say? Our biggest audience. Probably, I don't know why, maybe the platform style. A lot of apostolics seem to be on Instagram.
They seem to be. Yeah.
And we just get a lot of cool stuff on Instagram. Our audience is pretty cool. Do you have numbers on growth or anything?
Our
Audiences.
growth this year on Instagram was 100, according to our bean counter producer, was 107%.
Wow.
Where's the hand clapping?
Wow.
He's sleeping on the ball.
Oh my
again.
goodness. Come on.
107%. That seems to be okay.
Yeah.
A few thousand.
What is the total?
A few thousand.
What is the total?
Man,
We're up 2,400 followers anyway.
that's
Well,
crazy.
It's good.
And we didn't buy one of them.
Exactly. I was just going to say.
We didn't download them. We didn't.
All of this stuff we're talking about, we talked about this years ago.
Organic.
Yes.
We're not, we don't boost anything. We don't boost an episode. We don't boost social media stuff. We don't even boost our giveaways. We just let them go. Maybe we should, but we don't. Maybe somebody in our audience is like a social media guru who could help us turn this
Yeah,
into
that'd be great.
1 billion followers.
Yep.
Billions. But it is interesting to watch how this stuff, and we ask every guest, how did you hear about KingdomSpeak? And every one of them says something different.
Yeah. Do you know what I've really enjoyed though is the interaction. We're hearing more and more from our audience, and I love it. They're chiming in with other little Bible bomb equivalent comments, and
Well, and that was kind of the goal of the DJD thing, was to try to,
yeah, that was it.
everybody can like and share.
Yep.
Everybody can do that.
Yep.
But the whole point is to get someone to
Come
say,
on, Snickerdoodle.
right? We miss out on this stuff if you don't show us
Snickerdoodle.
and
We'd
tell
have never
us.
met him in a like and share contest.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it is great to hear from you guys.
it really
It's
is.
great.
It really is.
What else you got for social media numbers over there?
Facebook is up 82%. Twitter's been a bit slow.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you tweets.
Yeah.
Come on, Elon.
We need Elon to quit throttling us.
Yeah.
I know he's watching us.
Come on,
close.
Elon.
Oh, yeah.
He's watching us close. 61%.
Well, 61% growth. If that's the slowest part, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yep.
good.
So, self-confessed, don't know that much about Facebook. That's not been a domain I've wandered in that much, but
People are out there. We
good.
know you're out there,
it's good.
and it's cool.
Number 3.
Let's hit number 3. As you can see, we have a detailed script we're following in this show today. We're going all out for you guys. By the way, those of you who listened, and there were a surprising amount of you, thank you for listening to our Christmas episode.
Oh, yes.
Put that in the category of episodes
It
that
shocked us.
we thought would never do anything.
Yeah.
And it's really going.
We're giving them
Quite
2
well.
hard-hitting episodes back to back.
Yeah. So this episode was interesting. And I think we can confess this to the audience that we want to have Elder Booker on. And we said, let's get Joel Booker on. He has some
Yeah.
Bible bombs.
Yes.
And that will be amazing. And people will love it. And they obviously did because we're in the top 5. And then it would just be so the icing on the cake if somehow
We could land.
we can land.
No devious work here.
No. There was no planning involved. No quid pro quo, as they say. But it wasn't. It was great to. And people in California, right?
They represent.
Yeah. So while we're on it, the top U.S. state is California.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, by far. Just to give you an idea, Californians listen to Kingdom Speak almost twice as much as the entire nation of Canada. It's that many people.
Really?
It's insane.
Come on, Canada.
Well, come on,
And
California.
thank you, California. Yeah.
Number 2 is Texas. I mean, I thought everything was bigger in Texas, and you really disappointed me,
Wow.
Texas. You're number 2. What an insult that Texas is number 2 in anything.
Behind California.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Come on.
And then Mississippi, number 3. Isn't that where DJD was going? He said he was going to, I don't remember the state he was driving to. I hope he got there anyways. I never heard from him since. So, Number 4, Tennessee. Number 5, Indiana.
Oh, really?
So
Sweet.
a diverse group there
Yeah.
of listeners.
Yeah.
All over the map. And thank you to our American listeners. Now, back to Joel Booker.
Number 3 is Joel Booker, Finding the Will of God. What an episode.
And to find, this guy has the gift, just like his dad, of being able to tell stories
Yes.
and talk. For the technical people in our audience who, if you go on YouTube and watch, the setup of this was very difficult. The lighting in his office was not the best. And he even said it. He said, I'm struggling to get the video to look right. The worst part about this was his in-ear monitor obviously kept falling out. So if you go on and watch this episode on YouTube,
It's going to ruin the video for
we
you.
need to start a ticker tape and count how many times
Forgot. I forgot that.
he had such a fit with it. I felt bad for him the whole time. It was just one of them things. But anyways, it was hard to find something to clip because it was so good. Near the end of the episode, he told this story, which a lot of people have heard about I.H. Terry. But it sums up the entire episode. So have a listen. It's coming.
If we had somebody that
This
would tell
subject,
us.
finding the will of God,
It's coming.
without somewhere in my mind that the Elder Morton and his message, just let it unfold, coming up.
Yes.
I recommend to every person that I pastor, every young person, certainly, you need to find a copy of that message. I guess there's a booklet now, but I think I'd rather hear it.
Sure.
You want to hear his voice.
Yeah,
you want to
absolutely.
catch his spirit.
Absolutely.
And just real quickly to recap it, Elder Morton, as you know, was at a crucial point in his life. He had gone through some major pain, and he was preaching. But honestly, it was the most painful part of his life. He was preaching for Brother I.H. Terry, one of the fascinating characters of Pentecost.
Yes, sir.
Pastored in Bakersfield for many years. And there he was in Bakersfield. Brother Terry would talk to him, and he kept doing things that were, he was using analogies and metaphors to try to get through to Brother Morton to help him. Well, one of the things he did, he took him to his house one day. Brother Terry had a bunch of rose bushes, and he took one of the roses, cut it off. It was a rosebud, cut it off with a pocket knife, handed it to Brother Morton, and he said, Brother Morton, I want you to take that. I want you to unfold this rose. Well, Brother Morton, we kind of, in retrospect, know the story, but he thought there might be a trick to this. And he's trying to unfold that bud. You can imagine it's falling apart. Pieces are falling apart in his hand on the ground. And when he preaches this, he said, I was so frustrated. I was thinking, I can't even unfold a flower. And that's when Brother Terry said, Brother Morton, that's exactly where you're at in life. And he said, that rose is like your life. He said, if you keep trying to force it, you are going to destroy your life. You're going to destroy people around you. He said, you don't unfold a rose like that. He said, God's designed it, that it takes in the sun, the rain comes down, nutrients from the soil, and over time, it just naturally and beautifully unfolds. Just let your life do that. I don't know how many young people I've took to that and told them that.
Isn't that a cool story?
Just do the present duty.
Incredible.
Do the will of God.
That's a whole podcast right there.
Do the present duty.
Yep.
The statement he talked about, just do what is right before you. That's the will of God.
How did he say that? The present
duty.
The present duty.
Present duty.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
Incredible.
Great episode.
And he has a gift, as you've mentioned, of just being able to distill those biblical truths down to those seminal, simplified, achievable action. And every young person needs to listen to that. Everybody needs to listen to it, but especially young people.
Interesting stuff.
Incredible.
Yep.
Man, we're closing in on the top two.
Top two. The next one that we're going to talk about was unique because we had a couple on.
Yes.
It's probably a good time to shout out the guests in general.
Man,
wasn't it?
We had an A team this year.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
An A team. Who was your favorite guest?
Oh, man.
Put that on.
Rodney Shaw.
Okay.
Just because I had no idea who he was.
Yep.
I'd heard about his book. And I think just the topic in general, working with volunteers, that to me was just such a unique lesson. You put me in a tough spot because we have a lot of great guests.
Well, we don't ask people to come.
Everyone that we have is phenomenal.
I can tell you categorically who my favorite was.
We all know.
Well, of course.
We all know.
Of course.
Yeah. Please.
Ruth McKillop.
We'll give her a Bible ball.
Hello.
I knew that was coming.
I was hoping one of you guys would ask.
You just wanted to set yourself up.
Cornelius Williams was great. Ben Weeks was great. Nathan Cox was great. Jared, they were all great.
Who'd you have?
For favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's tough. I'm going to say probably Brother Williams.
Yes.
Again, probably just someone that I haven't heard as much as the rest. But, they're all great.
Man, they all were.
They were.
Brother LVR
he was
nailed it the first of the year.
Did.
him sitting at his desk.
Just nailed it. Yeah, because we were still in lockdown, right? In January. We were back into our last little, and he so addressed that.
Yeah.
It was so good. So
guy,
we really did have an amazing.
the guy with all the hair was pretty good. Remember the bald guy named Hair? Yeah. I remember all the self-depreciating jokes he
Yes.
said about himself. It was good.
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
If you're feeling depressed, you need to go listen to him. He'll help you out.
He was great. He was great.
Especially if you're a PK.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a cool episode as well.
We had several repeats
Mm-hmm.
that we'd had on before. Bishop Lambeth is always Wade Townley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dainty Jewels.
Yeah, that was a good business
Very cool.
one. Brother Weeks really resonated.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
And just like when we worked with Joel Booker and we're trying to get something else out of it, there's something going on there. I'm just going to leave it at that. Coming to a podcast near you someday in the future at an undisclosed location.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe for a select few of you.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2. So, dear young married couple
Yeah.
came on the show. And these people, I had no idea who they were. I had not been a listener of them. Since then, I have listened to a bunch of their stuff. But it was so unique to see. I don't know. I'm just being honest. If my wife and I went on a podcast, I think it would be chaotic. I'm just going to say it.
Off of the podcast isn't much different.
Oh, my heart.
Oh.
Oh.
Ouch.
Medics. We need medics.
Ouch.
Brutal.
Wow.
No, that's not true.
But to see these fine folks in action, how they communicate and what they communicate about some tedious topics. And
You know,
they're just great.
they put out yesterday, I think, on their social media that since January of 2020, they have reached over 1.5 million downloads on the Dear Young Married Couples podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
And they were on KingdomSpeak, and you obviously loved it. Talking about psychology in
Psychology in the church.
the church.
Scripture. Science shows the wonders of God. You know,
Yes.
the Psalm 19:1, the heavens declare his
Absolutely.
glory.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, in Romans we hear that the people were able to be judged by their observation of logic and the law and order without even knowing the gospel,
Right.
because the truth should be known by simply observing. Now, how cool that we have both special revelation in scripture and we have general revelation through observation. But both are true, and one is not truer than the other. All truth is God's
Doth
truth.
not nature itself teach?
Yes.
That's right.
More talking
Yes,
about truth.
I love. There's a quote by
There's a
Jonathan
common-
Sachs.
Common theme.
He says this. He says that science takes things apart to see how things work,
Right.
but theology puts
Puts it
things together to see what they mean.
Absolutely.
Ah,
And
excellent.
you know, science can't answer a 6-year-old's basic questions about life.
For sure.
Where do we come from? Where are we going?
Why am I here?
Why am I here?
Right.
You know, like, how should I live? Science can't. I like John Lennox, who's an apologist professor at Oxford.
Dog appearance in the
says
back right
that
there.
science
You see
can
that?
tell me that cyanide put in my grandma's tea will kill her, but it doesn't tell me that I ought not to do it.
There it is.
So there's two separate
Very
things that science and theology do.
Yep.
And so what we're advocating here is they're absolutely complementary when a child of God can say, this is how this, because every tool can be used wrongly.
Yeah.
I can use a wrench to hit a nail in, but I might bend the nail and I might damage the wall.
Right.
So we can
And the flip.
use tools.
Can I flip that?
Please.
Yes.
And if the only thing you have is a hammer, every problem's a nail.
Exactly.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
Let me put this in.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
comes full circle back to what I was stating with the plurality of tools that are at our disposal are there for those moments that, yes, our praise works for certain things, prayer works for certain things, fasting works for certain things. But when you're depressed and you're in a cave like Elijah,
Yeah.
then it wasn't the earthquake and it wasn't the fire and it was a still small voice that instructed him, go get a confidant named Elisha and never be alone again.
That's right. Yep. That's good.
That's
and in the
what-
multitude of counselors, there is safety. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I see this in the, again, going back to what we originally started with, that relationship of church and psychology. As long as psychology remains a tool in the hands of theology, maybe we could even say it that way,
Sure.
Very good.
then it's okay. Instead of
Cool topic.
yeah.
Very cool.
Well, and one that is a proper understanding of it is needed.
yeah.
Psychology must remain secondary, and as I think she goes on to state, it has to be the servant
Yeah. Yeah.
to theology. So, very, very, very good discussion on the role of
Yeah.
how the church interacts with
Yeah.
psychology.
They were a great episode. They were great. Very polished group.
Yes.
Very nice people. Authentic. You can just tell that's who they are. That's what they do. Very good.
You know, one of the last things for interesting statistics, Listen Notes is a company that tracks podcasts across every scope and genre. And speaking with Adam Shaw earlier this year, who also hosts a great podcast called The Restorationist, he said, you need to check out, they do this free. They track everybody's.
Listen notes.
ListenNotes.com.
Yep.
And they are presently tracking 2.999 million podcasts.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot of stuff. And so presently, KingdomSpeak is in the top 0.5%
Whoa.
of podcasts out of that small little group.
Thank you to our audience for that.
Is that incredible?
Wow. That's crazy.
Those are numbers that we never would have dreamed. The one thing we've repeatedly said we kick ourselves for not doing is writing down what the expectation was going to be at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not expect 3
We have got
microphones.
an amazing audience.
I didn't expect 3 microphones. I got to be honest.
You didn't see that?
I didn't see that. No.
Didn't see that coming.
Well, we're going to,
Do we have 3 microphones?
at times, he rips it off every few weeks. All right.
So here we are.
Man, it's time.
Number 1.
Time number 1. This episode, without giving away the title, it's just one of them topics that we seem to talk about every few months almost. It's
And there is, you mentioned it, there's commonality even in the top 5 here.
yeah, dealing with truth, dealing with identity, dealing with even going back a couple of years to when we talked about fellowship and how, let's find the common things that unite us and the common identifiers and focus on those.
Right.
It just seems to keep
Reoccurring.
either with us or with guests. And in this case, it was an episode that we did ourselves. But Jack, go ahead and give them the title and then we'll kick it off.
So this title was the most listened to really across both of our demographics,
Both platforms. That's right.
YouTube and our Podbean podcasting
Which is no small feat
audience. No, it isn't.
because when we look at our top podcast episodes versus YouTube, it's 2 different worlds.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's 2 different worlds. So it's pretty cool.
This one ranked in both.
Yep.
You Be You was the title of this episode.
Do you subscribe to the thought of Jacob thought he was wrestling with Esau? Or do you think Jacob knew? This is random. You don't have to answer, but I've heard people surmise about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily ascribe to it. I think if there's anything, I think Jacob was wrestling. And again, we can get into the weeds on this,
it's
but
just random.
I think there's a part of him that was really wrestling with himself.
Yes, I do agree with that. Yeah.
He was being brought face to face with himself.
Well, it's like
Who art thou, Jacob?
You already failed that test once, and now here's another rewrite on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because here is a big deal, and this is kind of the crux of everything that we've said up until now. I can't bless you until you get to this point, Jacob. Okay? Your dad may be able to bless you, and you may be able to sneak a blessing out of men. But if you want the divine favor and blessing of God, you have got to embrace who you are before you will get blessed. Because here is a key principle. God will not bless who you pretend to be. God will only bless who you really are.
Yeah.
Get a $500 holiday
Of
bonus on
course.
select Seltos
It's
models.
like we planned it.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Funny.
You know you want a Kia, and if you refuse to embrace who you really are, you can only be blessed by those you dupe on the horizontal level.
Yeah, that's quite a principle.
But if you really want the favor and blessing of God, you would embrace who you are, not a blessing that all of your warts and blemishes and shortcomings, and go, this is really who I am. Now, notice how quick the theophany that he's wrestling with responds to him.
To the
moment
authenticity. Yeah.
that he says, with that authenticity,
Yeah.
I am Jacob.
Yeah.
Notice the response. It's immediate.
Yeah.
It's
And he
immediate.
said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
But Israel.
For as a prince thou hast. Yeah.
Right. For as a prince, thou hast power with God. So here's the thing. The moment that you stop pretending to be someone else,
Camera shots.
then I'm going to tell you what you have the potential to become.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's never been part of the economy or the equation for your life, Jacob. It's never been that Esau would become Israel. Esau will never become Israel. Jacob is to become Israel. So as long as Jacob is playing Esau, Jacob never becomes Israel. Because in my plan, it is not Esau to Israel, it's Jacob to Israel.
Phenomenal.
So I have got to bring you
Phenomenal.
to the point where
Phenomenal.
and that was the number one. I really do think people desire to be authentic.
Definitely.
Well, there's always exceptions to that rule. But if there's anything we've taken away from 2022, I think that's what it is. They authentically want to be in the will of God.
They do.
Want to know what truth is.
And in a world of artificial everything, artificial intelligence at this point, online pseudonyms, bots, fake accounts, filters.
AI writing your papers for you.
Yeah, chat now
Yep.
where you don't even know if you're talking to a person when you're complaining about your Amazon purchase. Like,
Yeah.
And you can't even tell anymore. You can't tell.
Yep.
It's time for authentic people to just be real.
It is.
Yeah. And that was great. What a year. What a diverse year of content. It's been a great year with you guys. It really has.
We have got an amazing audience. You guys do a great job producing. We do have some good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff lined up for this next year. I'd like to hear from our audience.
Yeah, we do. We'd like to hear from you.
And we'd like to hear who you would like to hear from. Give us some suggestions.
We've taken down the notes from Daniel Padgett's review.
Yep.
And
That was awesome.
We're beginning to form a letter writing campaign to those people and spam them.
Plead. We want to hear from Daniel Padgett's grandfather, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had somewhere between 8 and 10 conversations with him
Oh, there it is.
about coming on the episode. He has incredible material on ambition.
why won't he share it with us? That's a great question.
We love you, Brother Paget.
So you're saying he listens to us? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, but Daniel does, obviously. Oh, Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for the year. It's been awesome. And that sums up Kingdom Speak for 2022.